What's up, y'all? This is kind of a late night chat, but y'all ain't gonna believe this, man. I was doing some research on the sentencing guidelines. Diddy could face up to 10 years, which means that I honestly think it's a possibility that he could get significant jail time. The reason why I say that is because the judge said that, I mean, I could go over it, but the judge said, he's a danger, to the community, stuff like that. I'm paraphrasing. But when I go to let me go back here for a second. Check this out. So he could either sentence him concurrent or consecutive. Concurrent means, let's say there's two charges, right? One charge, let's say one charge, you sentence him to 3 years, and the other charge you sentence him to three. If you run them concurrent, the total time he has to do is 3 years. He run them both together. Consecutive, you finish one after the other. You finish the first sentence, and then you go on to the next sentence. So that's why this is dangerous. And now watch this. It says, when would the judge choose? Well, I'll come back to that because this is crazy. So in a federal case like Sean Diddy Combs, the judge has the discretion at sentencing to decide multiple prison sentences will run concurrently or consecutively. But that decision, but that discretion is guided by federal sentencing laws and guidelines. Concurrent sentences is sentences that are served at the same time. So if someone is sentenced to 10 years for count one and 10 years for count two, and the judge runs them concurrently, the total time served is 10 years. Consecutive sentences, the sentence are served one after the other. So 10 years for count one plus 10 years for count two equals 20 years total. So when would the judge choose concurrent versus consecutive? Watch this. This is going to be very important here. Watch this. Concurrent is more common when the offenses are part of the same conduct or course of events. Consecutive is more likely if crimes are separate in nature involving different victims, or show a pattern of continued criminal conduct. Guys, this is not good. Again, consecutive is more likely if the crimes are separate in nature, involve different victims, or show a pattern of continued criminal conduct. So, since he was already convicted under the Mann Act, the judge could run those sentences concurrently or consecutive depending on the facts of each count. Were they different events? The present, the pretense investigation report. I'm sorry, the pre-sentence investigation report. I'm sorry. The government's recommendation, sentencing guidelines, victim impact statements. I've already said this. Victim impact statements, the mitigating or aggravating factors. So that's why he is in trouble. He's not out of harm's way yet. Um, he's not out of harm's way yet. I don't know what the judge is going to do because this is involving different victims at different events. and it was an ongoing situation with these free calls. So the judge could be like, "I'm sentencing you consecutive sentences," but in his case, he's hoping for concurrent sentences. But I don't know about this judge, man. I don't. It's going to come down to a lot of things. The victim impact statements is one of them. Is a major part. If they come up in that courtroom talking about how in danger they are for their life, now there's another woman come out now that says she's in danger of her life. The former Chef Jordan. Now she's saying she's in fear for her life. So guys, this is by design. They're doing it so that the judge can say, you know what? I'm finna give you 8 years on count three, and I'm gonna give you 8 years on count five, and I'm gonna run it concurrently. So what does that mean? So he would have to. So he already got time served, so he would have to serve a little over and do 85%, do a little over 7 and some years before he gets out. That's what this is really almost kind of looking like. That's what this is really kind of looking like right now. So that's what he's looking at, man. When I'm looking at this, the victim impact statements is going to matter. That's really going to matter. You'll take that in consideration, and he's going to have people at the sentencing hearing speak up for him as well. Um, he's going to need it. He's going to need somebody to speak in his behalf, right? Um, yeah, that's what he's going to need. Yeah, I was just looking at this, man. I don't know, man. I honestly think in this particular situation, man, it's not good. He could literally face he could be facing a lot of time here, folks. Again, I go back to it says what how would he choose concurrent or consecutive? Concurrent is more common when the offenses are part of the same conduct or course of events. Consecutive is more likely if crimes are separate in nature and involve different victims or show a pattern of continued criminal conduct. Yeah, man, it's easily that judge could easily just max him out and say, "I'm giving you 10 on count three and 10 on count five, and I'm running consecutive. That's 20 years. Won't be out for like 17 unless he get a pardon." Interesting, man. It's craziness. Um, so I wanted to go over that, but he is hoping for a concurrent sentence. But like I said, the judge, and now remember I said the jury had the power. Now the judge has the power. Now the power is back in the judge's hands. The jury has spoken. They were the most important people in the courtroom. But now the most important person in the courtroom is the judge. So he gets to review like all the paper, review everything and see what he's going to do at sentencing. So that's what he's looking at, man, for sure. Um, we definitely will see what happens Tuesday. It's Tuesday. he's supposed to meet up. I mean, his they supposed to meet via teleconference on Tuesday to find out when the sentencing hearing is going to be. So we'll probably know sooner or later. They'll have that scheduled. But man, I don't know. I keep going back to that consecutive sentence and what qualifies for it. So interesting case, man. But definitely, impact statements is going to be heavy, and usually judges take that in consideration and uh, and go from there, man. So I don't know, man. It's let me see something. All right, let's see. Yeah, man. I honestly think, man, he's in hot water. Now that I'm looking at those sentencing guidelines, I'm like, I don't know, man. But we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely go from there. So again, the government is asking, let's see, for 51 to 63 months total, not per count. Let's see, this total. So let me take something here. Let me go back here for a second. But then on top of it, the judge can decide also if assets get forfeited. So that's another thing they're going to have to talk about during the sentencing hearing when he finally give down his final sentence. So any aggravating or mitigating circumstances, notably his past violent behavior, highlighted at the trial and referenced by the judge when denying bail. So that's something else he got to look at, because if he go consecutive, he's going to have to spend a considerable amount of time in prison here. Because I'm looking at why he would go consecutive. Hold on, let me go back for a second. Let me see. Let me go back consecutive. So, where's my notes? Consecutive is more likely if the crimes are separate in nature, involving different victims. You hear that? Involving different victims. Assure a pattern of continued criminal conduct. Concurrent is more common when the offenses are part of the same conduct or course of events. But that consecutive is worrying me, though. It's more likely if the crimes are separate in nature, involve different victims. Assure a pattern of continued criminal conduct. And the judge has already said he has a violent past. He's already said it and denied his bail. He's in trouble. He definitely is. This judge has full discretion. I think he might go consecutive here. So don't be surprised if that happens. You're like, oh my God, he maxed this guy out. Um, it would seem very excessive, but I know how these judges are before they sentence you. They'll have a speech first, you know, taking the high ground, in their speech and whatnot. You like, sir, you've showed a pattern of not respecting people or domestic violence over the years, and what has changed now. He better hope he don't get like that. Because he'd be like, all right, well, I sent you to 8 here and 8 there, and it's consecutive. So, and I know some people are hopeful that that won't happen. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's what I was looking at. Crazy stuff, man. Let me go back to the, what's up, y'all? Everybody up late. Everybody can't sleep like me. I'm about to get off, though. But, let me see. We don't know, though. I would say concurrent sentences stacked. You do it all at the same time. Consecutive is going to seem a little excessive here, but I'm not surprised if he do it. Like I said, most legal analysts expect a short term stay, 15 to 21 months, which was requested by the defense with credit for time served. But if the judge sides more with the prosecutors, it could stretch to 4 to 5 years. So, consecutive, man, I don't know. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find something here. So, the most recent high profile example in the Southern District of New York, where a person received consecutive sentences, occurred in October 2014 when Joe Fernandez was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences. Oh, well, that was for the double murder in the Bronx. Okay, so that was the. Let me see. All right, let's see. So, United States versus Enrique Brito. Let's see. He pled guilty to racketeering, attempted murder. Okay, that's not. Let's see. Yeah, there's been quite a few cases where they did that, consecutive sentences, but he's lucky. He lucky to run concurrent, so it's stacked on. You do them all at the same time. Oh, you're sitting in Australia. How you doing? Can they hit him with another indictment? Yeah, they could, but not on this though. Not on these. It's called double jeopardy. Not on these particular victims. No. Nope. Double jeopardy. Because this jury, as we know, they came up with a full verdict. So No, that's not likely for him to get charged with the same. They're gonna come back again. They can't. So, but we'll see how it works out when it comes. So, anyway, guys, I'm gonna just do this quick video. I will catch you guys in the morning. I will talk to you later. All right, y'all.